Hi folks, so now that you've watched that excellent video on orthographic projection, I'm going to bring you to what we will be studying for the next number of weeks, which is parallel projections. Now in parallel projections there are several subtopics. Orthographic projection being the most important of all in it, but there are some other important and relevant topics as well, namely isometric projection, oblique projection, sketching, and we will be doing some scaled drawings later on, but we'll work through those over the next number of weeks, as I said. So an example of what the first drawing we will be doing, this one here object is quite basic, as you can see, and you saw that in the video as well. So I thought it'd be a good one for us to start off with. This is how we will be drawing the orthographic up here. Now in the video there was two end views, but we will only be drawing one end view through for the next number of weeks, and you'll find that will be the case over the next number of years as well. The video was just showing you how it would look from both ends. Now, when we've the orthographic drawn on our sheet, we're also up here, we're going to be doing an isometric. Okay, now an isometric drawing is very handy. You would see it in a lot of magazines, or if you got a new packet of Lego when you were younger, it would show you an isometric drawing. Why? Because it's the most easy one for us to understand, a 3D object when we're looking at it. After a while, you would have no problem when you have your experience built up of looking at an orthographic projection, and you will be able to envisage what that object would look like in 3D. And isometric is probably the easiest way for the humans to understand when we're looking at an object. So it basically, the crate goes off at 30 degrees to the left, 30 degrees to the right and left, and you set up the crate depending on the size of the object. Down here for the first drawing, this is oblique. Now we're going to be sketching the oblique in the first drawing, and every second drawing we're going to be doing vice versa. We'll sketch oblique in this one, we'll sketch isometric in the next one, but we'll just concentrate on the first one to start off with. So if I was sketching this here, and you can sketch the scale any size. So sometimes you'd see a scale might be 1:2. That means the object is half the size in reality. So I will start off by sketching just a basic rectangle, and then the lines can go off to the left or right at 45 degrees. But I'll stop talking now, and I'm going to start drawing out this question on paper, and I'd like you to follow me along step by step, please. Hi folks, so let's kick off drawing this question now. Now it's going to be a long video because it is the first one. I'm going to do everything step by step with you. Okay, so a starting point similar to the question is 20 mil down and 20 mil in. This object has a height of 52 millimeters. It's also 52 millimeters wide and 78 millimeters long. There's max dimensions. So I'm going to come down 52 millimeters there, start with. And I'm going to draw a light line across my page, roughly around to the halfway mark. Now, there's only two heights in this object, okay? It's 52 mil high, and the first part there with the L line on its back is 26 mil high, and if you add on another 26, that's where you get the 52 out of. So we can draw another light line across there. And what we are doing now, of course, is the orthographic view. So next, we know the length of that is 78 millimeters. I'm just going to bring across a height, the max top height of it there as well. Now that object would fit into that little crate there. Going to come back 26 millimeters here again. And now I'm going to do for the elevation in the lines heavy. Now, In between the elevation and the end view, there's a line. That's called the YY line. And when we get back to school, I'll explain this in more detail to you what it is. So it's 20 mil away here from the object, and then it's 20 mil again until the end view, we start the end view. So put in that line there. I'm going to mark it YY. Now, so we're looking in at the end in the direction of arrow B, and we know the object is 52 millimeters wide. And finally now, we're going to do the plan view. So I'm going to draw down a line there at 45 degrees. I could measure the whole thing out again, but by using this line here, this 45 degree line, you'll see that it's quite handy. It saves us doing a lot of measuring. So I can drop the widths down to there, and it's like you're bouncing them off that line, bring them across. Now all I have to do is drop down these widths from my elevation. And I have everything I need now for the plan view. And we're going to label all our views, folks. Spacing out in 4 mils. So elevation. End view. Plan. And that is our orthographic drawing. Next I'm going to do the isometric. Now for the isometric, the angles are going off at 30 degrees. So it's this set square is what you want for doing this. Now, again, we know the height of this is 52 millimeters. So I'm going to do my lines lightly first. All we're doing first is setting up this crate. Mark it off, 52 mil there as well. And going off at 30 degrees again. This is 78. So let's write in those degrees as well. 30 and 30. While we're at it, we'll label it. This is our isometric. And we can finish this off now. So just keep bringing them along until the lines hit each other, and that's how you know where to stop then. And this is only in construction weight lines, so it doesn't matter if they overlap or are too long. Now we won't see the back corner, but I'll put it in anyways. And that will be the base. So when you have your crate set up there, it's the same measurements you're using, okay? So we knew that when it's lying down there, it's 26 is halfway, okay? And we know the top comes out 26 this way. Now you could measure off that in each line, but you don't have to. So if you just watch me for a few minutes finishing this, you'll go through it a lot faster. Once you've the crate set up, heavy lines there. Light construction line coming over here. Light construction line. And drop down till you hit that. Heavy. 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 So you can see I only measured off on 3 lines there, I believe, and I can finish out the whole drawing now as a result. And that is your isometric drawing. The final one now is a sketch of the oblique. So I'll put away my T-square. And as I said earlier, this will involve a scale. Okay, so the scale means it can be bigger than that, smaller than that. It's up to you. You choose whatever scale you want. So I'm going to make it roughly around half the size of these dimensions up here. So first of all, we're going to draw a light rectangle. And we keep it the same as in the question. We'll put them going off there, and we're estimating the 45 degrees here. Okay. And now I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to draw this. So I recommend you always draw what's on this face first, which will be this here. Okay. So if we drop down that guy, bring him in. Don't be afraid to turn around your sheet as well if you find it easier to draw that way, folks. Bring across this guy. Where he hits that line there, he come back here. And I'm going to move it around now. And finish off the tops, and that is our isometric. Okay, now when I was drawing that there, you can see it's also always a good idea then to go back and check off the lines. Okay, so that's good, 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 and I slide it good, I slide it over. You can see there now that line has gone off. Okay, so it's a good way of checking them, sliding the pencil like that. So if you have gone off, you can rub it out. Down that pencil again, bring them over, and it's a good way of just having a kind of a guide for yourself. Okay, you're not using it as a ruler, but it's kind of helping you to get the lines more parallel. And now that looks better. And finally, we will just label that as well. And that guy is called oblique. So these are the 3 subtopics that are taking up parallel projections. Okay, we have isometric, oblique, and orthographic up here, which we should put in the title for that as well. So I'll just extend on this. Orthographic projection. So that's it, finished, folks. More videos to come next week, and I hope you're keeping safe and keeping well. Take care.